Okay, so we've got it all the way down the bottom. Let's see, and I pulled the tape off. I don't want it to stick anywhere else. This is the back of the card. Taking your bunny thing, make sure you have the face down. Piece that says "Some Bunny Loves You" with your ribbon on it already, and you're going to just place it over that section there. You want to make sure your top ribbon doesn't go too far up, but you want it to be lined up and fairly centered. So line it up best you can in the center. So I don't want that to be noticeable to start with. And just rub on that section. So now I've got the plastic on one half and the other half of the plastic's on that side. Now on this side, making sure it's still staying down. So it's still staying down. And this is where my bunny's going to be coming up. I need to put tear and tape on this side now. So a couple pieces. Again, you do not want it to go over the plastic. And there's one. There's two. And then put your bunny there. Now keep in mind, you want your bunny to be covering up the top of the line. And the front decoration you can put where appropriate. And I'm just going to make sure he's down far enough where he's completely on the plastic, but I want to be able to see the top of him. Okay. So sticking down there and just trial it up. There you go. Oh, my words are a bit low. My words aren't showing up. Okay. I will have to adjust that. So in order to get the words to show up, which is the other reason you use tape, tape is easy to peel off. So we have to do technical difficulty. Yep. Don't worry about how it looks there. So tape, you can just rub it right off. See that? So if it doesn't come up far enough. So the trouble was the words aren't coming up far enough. So it actually needs to be the top section needs to come up so you can see the words "Some Bunny Loves You." Okay. So now we will try it again. Again, I'll just put one piece of tape on there for now. So it kind of depends on where you put your words. I think I ended up with my words further down than they should be. So having my bunny up, I'm just going to hold that so I can see the words where I want them to be. And just holding that in place, I'm gently pressing on the back to make sure it's right in the spot. And then sliding it down. So see there, it sticks slightly out, but that's okay. And so now when I pull it up, you can see "Some Bunny Loves You" and slide the bunny down. Okay. So I should have probably put my little pull thing higher up on this one, but live and learn. Okay. Once you've got that there and you tested that it does slide, then go ahead and put your covering piece on the back. That will hold it in place because you see it's wobbling at the moment. That will hold it in place. So when you stick this down, again, use tear and tape. And you want the tear and tape to be near either side of your pulling section, but not close enough to impede it. Okay, so it's basically lining both sides of it. And I'm not going right to the top because my card that I'm covering doesn't go right to the top. Okay, so it's basically creating a channel. And if you want, you could use your foam adhesive to actually create a channel if you wanted to do that. So making sure that that's staying in place, I'm just going to put the white piece over the back. And this allows you an area to write your message as well, here on the back. You could put another white piece on that section if you want a bigger message. So now that that's held in place, you're going to slide up and down. So if you want, you could also erase that pencil. Okay, so to do the rest of the card, you want to make sure when you stick this down, you're not gluing behind those little slits, because you want to use those slits. So for here, you're just going to glue around the edges. And you could do tape, or I'm just going to use liquid glue. And so in this middle section's fine, and as long as I'm not underneath those little slots. So I can put a little glue on the above the slots, but I definitely don't want to impede anything going through. So you don't want to block this area, because that's where things are going to go through when you stick things in like your carrots. So we're going to stick that onto the bottom on the back. And if I stand it up like that with the liquid glue, I can just wiggle it into place. And then the next thing to stick down is your wall. So your wall is going to be glued down on this section here. But you don't want to put glue on the middle section, only the end section. And as I mentioned before, oh, I forgot something I should have done first. Okay, I'll show you that in a second. Hopefully it'll still fit. I forgot to put my house in, my house behind there, but that's okay because I only just stuck it in. So I want my house to be seen, so I want my house to be glued down. But I also want to be able to see it when I close the card. So you need to figure out where exactly you want to put it. And as you can see, I left enough in the back so I could tuck it in there. So I'll put my house down now. Because the glue hasn't set, I have time for that. So if you do this, put your house down first. Okay, so my house with the garden. I'm not going to push it down until I see where it's going to show up. I like that so you can see it when the card is actually closed. And then I will press that into place. Okay. But I still have room in those slots to slip things in if I wish. Okay. Now the front part, where our rabbit is, you don't want to glue it down because you're going to impede the rabbit moving. So this is where you're going to want to put foam adhesive. Now if you don't have the foam adhesive, what you can do with our dimensionals, because of the way they're made, the edges don't actually have dimensionals, so you can cut little strips from the edges of your dimensionals, and then you can have one big long strip if you wish. Okay, so that's how you can get strips. So for this section, I'm going to want a strip on the side, so I've got some left over from a different project, so I'm going to put a strip on that side. And this will help your bunny sit upright while you pull it. And then I'm going to put a strip at the bottom. And a strip at the other side. I feel like I'm making a big mess. Okay, a strip at this side. And because the bunny doesn't go all the way down, it's not going to matter that you have the bottom covered. And one more strip at this side. I hope that's not too long. I'll have to check. It might be too long. Slightly too long. Just cut the top off of it. Now, you might be tempted to put something here, but keep in mind when he slides up, his bottom's gonna hit anything that might be on that side. So if you do want some reinforcement at the top of your wall, just make sure that you pull your bunny up to see where you can actually fit something. Because you don't want it to be stuck when you're pulling him up and down. Okay, know that that's not going to impede anything. And that looks good. So now I'm just going to pull the other side off the tear and tape and stick it down. Okay, so the easiest way to do is with the card closed, just let it naturally fall into place. There we go. So I can slide my bunny up and down, check the bunny goes up and down. And there's my wall. So that's a basic Z card. Now you just want to fill in all the little sections. So we've got our two parts for our garden. And so I'm going to glue them in place. The easiest way to do that is with the liquid glue, because you don't want to have it coming out. And just check the height, because if you cut your wall a certain height, it might not adjust. I mean, it might be showing. So just check that the height is not going to show on the side of your cardstock. And the easiest way is to put your glue on both sides. And where you set them, it doesn't have to be exactly so far away. It's up to you. And then if you come in at an angle, then you're not going to get glue everywhere. So you can see I come in at an angle. I'm going to press that in place, roughly press that in place, and then just let it close on itself. Being liquid glue, then it's going to move itself into where it needs to be. It's going to wiggle itself into place. And see, I have that mound and that mound. Okay, and hold it for a second so it stays in place. Okay. All right, that's good. And we'll do the same with the second one. Bit of glue on either side. And come in at an angle so the glue does not stick where you don't want it to be. Because if you get the glue where you don't want it to be, then your card might stick shut. And because these are the same height as the wall, doing it on a flat surface like this, it'll line it up perfectly. And then I can just, again, close that, hold it for a second, let the glue set. And I can even go this way. And so you can see there's my mounds. So I've got the one there, so they can all be seen. And then it's just a matter of decorating. So a couple tips on your decorating. Get your snips out. If you want your fork to actually go into the garden, you just need to cut through the tines. So on my original card, I haven't actually glued anything down. So you can glue things down if you want. But so like this back part, remember I didn't put the glue underneath where the holes are, so I can just slip that in there and leave it. Or I could put a dimensional behind there to hold it in place if I want. My carrots, I can easily just slip them in again, stick as far as I want. I should be able to get the carrot in here. There we go. And another carrot. Now on my original card, there is another die in this set. I'll just show you. So there's a couple other dies which I didn't use. So there's this one that gives you rings around the top of your terracotta pots. This one will give you decoration on your watering can. And then this little die here you can use to cut the tops of plants. So I did it for here. I just cut some little bits. But for this card, I just made extra carrots. And so we're going to pop a carrot in here. And pop a carrot in there. And so you could glue them in place, you know, or a glue dot behind there if you're worried about them coming out. If you're giving it to a child, it makes it more interactive that they can pull things in and out. I'm going to pop that one over there. And then the really cool thing is the smallest bunny, that little small bunny, actually fits in the slots. Well, he did. Maybe I gotta go up from underneath. He did in my original card. Let's see if I can slide him up. Here we go, pulling a rabbit out of the hole. There we go. You could just trim around his side if you want to have him come up. There we go. There. Slide him up. So you got a carrot on one side and a bunny coming out the other side. Isn't that cute? I think he's so adorable. And then to get your lettuce in your basket, it doesn't look right if it just sits on there. So what I did is I trimmed the basket straight on the line all the way up to the second handle, other side of the handle, and then I trimmed up the handle. Just careful that you don't cut it out. So I trimmed that way and then up the handle, and then you can slip your lettuce in there and then glue him behind, and he looks like he's filling up the whole basket. So pop a little glue on there. The reason there's lines there is because this was scrap paper that I stamped on. Okay, and so now I'm just going to slide him in. And the glue holds him in place. And then if you want, you can pop a tiny bit of glue right underneath the handle. Okay. And so now it's just decorating. Oh, actually, I have more carrots than I need because I had I'm pretty sure I had a little shovel going in one side. So I have a spare carrot, which is okay. So, to get your front of your card looking the way you want it to look, come on, something's not bending right. Nope, it's all right. Something's not bending right. Okay, there we go. You put your pots here. Now, depending on how high you put your pot, will be how much of your rabbit is hidden. I mean, you might want the pot all the way down, or you can maybe have it up slightly if you'd like. And that can just be glued onto your wall, but don't glue the very top of the pot because you don't want your rabbit to get stuck. And so you have the peeking through of the rabbit. And then you can pull it up to see your bunny. So see, when I pulled it up, I noticed the tail of the bunny's that side. So because it's liquid glue, I'm just going to gently move it over to the left so it looks more correct when the rabbit is actually fully out. Okay, that's trial and error for that. So you go back down, and there's the rabbit in the pot. Okay. Then I think on this one I had that rabbit giving his lettuce to this rabbit. I think that might look better. It's not as, doesn't cover the house as much. So a little bit of glue here. And when you do that, keep in mind where your fold line is, because you don't want to bend your rabbit's ears. And then this one. Move that one down. I had my basket over here. So anything on the inside, you don't want to put dimensionals on because it'll make it more difficult for the card to close. So, and also, you know how when I was doing the wall before and some things didn't line up very well, that's where these pieces come in handy. You can hide things with them. So that pot, I'm going to put a few dimensionals on it. And because it's on the front, that'll be fine. It can stick up a little bit. These are the mini dimensionals, so they fit some of the smaller parts better. There we go. And so I'm going to close it and see where the watering can goes nicely like there. You can just see the rabbit's ears peeking out of there, and we've got our rabbit peeking out there. And then we have our other rabbit. I'm going to have him look like he's walking on the wall, showing that to his father, maybe. So I'll pop some dimensionals on the back of this guy. But see, he's only going to be halfway on the wall, so got to make sure I put the dimensionals on the correct side. Yep. So he's going to be walking along the wall there. And except for having a spare carrot, I believe that it is done. So there you go. Here's Z Fold the card. You can look at it 3D. Stands up nicely. You can write your message on the back, or you can put cardstock there. And you also have the little "Some Bunny Loves You" that pulls out the top to get the big rabbit to come out. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please give me a thumbs up if you did. And I will be listing all the products below so you can order them if you wish. And make sure you click on the videos to go see the other Stampin' Up Fun Fold ideas from other demonstrators. So this one, here it is colored in. And the other difference is I have the garden in the background and the green leaves there. And this is the one I did today where I die cut the images from the paper and I made the wall go the whole way around. So I'd like to hear in the comments which you prefer, the one with the whole wall and the or the, you know, the way I colored, or the die cuts. So I'd like to hear your thoughts, and I hope you enjoyed that. And please give me a thumbs up. I'll see you at the next Global Monthly Video Hop. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.